How was it working with Wemby?
I say this humbly, it's one of the best 5 basketball experiences I've ever had.
Wow.
Period. And that's a lot for me. Like winning the state championship, meeting and playing against Michael Jordan, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's up there on that short list of things in my life, basketball wise.
Welcome back to the OGs. My man OG over there getting ready. I love it.
Kelly, you rubbing off on me.
Playmaker Original, presented by DraftKings. What's up, man? Jamal. Sixth fan of the year, Crawford.
Hey, Kelly, you rubbing off.
My guys?
You rubbing off on me, Kelly. I ain't never wore the same outfit 2 shows in a row. You rubbing
Let him know.
Mike rubbing off on me the wrong way, JC. Yeah, I ain't never wore the same outfit 2 shows in a row.
Yeah, his dogs went like that. He ain't doing that. He got to represent well, represent the whole fan. He ain't wearing two straight outfits.
I ain't gonna lie to you, D. I'm gonna call him today side out because every time this have me on an island getting ready to rock me to sleep, I just file him.
Oh no, listen.
Take that thing side out.
To this day, one of the best 1v1s I seen was him and D Wade playing against each other. But it was 4 other guys out there. We just wasn't a part of it. We was there.
See, Mike didn't know I was mad, and Mike walked away with that Rookie of the Year from my draft class. So I had to somehow get some type of get back because I went on that level as a rookie.
Thank you, Jamal. Hey. That right there lets me know that still bothers you. Because I'm the type of person that I bring.
Make rookie sophomore game.
Man,
Rookie of the Year.
I'm the type of person that like that bothers me too. I'm happy that bothers you, bro. I love that.
Hey, listen. Hey, he got me back enough. I ain't gonna let him get me on that island no more. That was embarrassing.
See, here you go. You was in Orlando just living life, Rookie of the Year, T-Mac. I'm like, man, I'm in Chicago. I love it, but man, we losing. I ain't getting no shine. This is crazy.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie now. I ain't gonna lie now, Jamal. It was a quick little drive from Gainesville to Orlando. Him and T-Mac took good care of me now.
Oh, see?
It was a nice little ride. They took care of me. It was a nice little ride from Florida to Gainesville to Orlando. The boys showed love.
He showed love to you.
Yeah.
Hey, Maul, let me ask you something. How you get from Seattle to Michigan?
Cha-ching.
That big
oh, my bad. My bad. We're gonna let him answer.
See, here you go. You guys are OGs enough to remember this. So y'all remember the Pizza Hut when they used to have like the basketballs at the time, like the Pizza Hut basketball and all that around the NCAA tournament. So I was a big Michigan fan. I saw the Fab Five and I'm like, oh, I got the black socks, the baggy shorts, the ball, just the swagger they played with. It seemed like somebody from my neighborhood that went straight to the big time playing. So I'm like, man, Michigan had me in 8th grade. They didn't even know it. I was in the back. I make this shot. I'm going to Michigan. So the opportunity came, and then I went. But when I got there, I'm like, damn, this is far. I don't know about this, but I was already there then, so it didn't matter.
Hey, yo, I'm happy you said that. You talk about being in the backyard because I tell my son all the time, man, some of the most creative moments you'll have as a hooper is in the backyard with nobody guarding you. With nobody even there. Like, just talk about that because your creativity is pretty much unmatched. You know what I'm saying? Your creativity with the basketball is unmatched. Just talk about where you get some of that creativity from because I tell my son all the time, if you need me to go out there with you, then you in trouble.
You're in trouble.
If you need me to go out there with you every time, you in trouble, son. I can't help you.
You're in trouble. And that's the thing, and we gotta, as OGs, we gotta keep preaching that. Like, if you go to trainer every day for 2 hours, that ain't enough. If you love this and you're really chasing this, like, you're gonna spend so many hours by yourself. You're gonna spend so many hours in your room with the hanger hoop, with the pair of socks, just being imaginative, being creative. I was the type to watch, TV, see something on TV, commercial break, I'm going right outside to try it. Oh, Tim Hardaway's did that crossover. I'm gonna try that UTEP right there and trying to learn it. And I was the kid that I would go outside and see how it rain a lot. Ain't nobody outside, so I'm looking around course. Ain't nobody there. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting better. So how we talk about, man, there's somebody in Chicago, somebody in Florida right now working on their game.
Yeah.
I was that kid, but it gave me imagination. So I was like, man, I had so many moves and things I didn't get to do because I was thinking about this my whole life. Like the pass I did to Blake when I threw it through my legs,
man,
I literally had that in my head since I was 8 years old.
Wow.
One of my OGs taught me that play. My sister's old boyfriend, JT from Detroit, taught me that play. He did it for a layup. I did it to a pass, and I had that. I'm like, I'm gonna do it in high school. Didn't happen. I'm gonna do it in Michigan. We played Duke. Didn't happen. So now I'm just fast forwarding, but I've had all these plays in, but it comes from that imagination. And I think that's what's missing in the game. And that's why we love players in the game that brings that creativity to the game today.
And Maul, dead ass, and I mean this. It's going to sound like a crazy question. I talk about this with people all the time. You don't even know I talk about you. I still think you can play right now.
Hell yeah!
I really do. You're one of the most unique people I've ever seen. Like at 39, go out and have 50. Like, what is it? Like, do you take care of your body? Is it just like, what is it? Talk to me. That's
no, it's that, and it's just love, and it's like y'all right now. If we're all in shape, and we can easily go play because our minds, first off, we see the game differently.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like Mayweather, right? Later in Mayweather's career, he was still crazy efficient, but he wasn't wasting energy. He wasn't taking punches. He was just going to pick you apart. We can pick them apart with their mind just the way they play right now, right? But then I'm always in shape. So I'm always playing. Me and UD talked about on the road, we was going to go hoop. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like Andre with his flute. I pop up anywhere and go play. Like that's just what it is. Like so I'm always doing that. I'm always playing against kids. I played against the high school team the other day. I had some bands on. I went to help coach. They start talking too much. I jumped out their vans and made sure we won. Hit them one of these moves they ain't seen before.
No, I listen, all bullshit aside, because I get a chance to go to heat practice, and I was joking with Mike about this earlier. I was telling Mike, like, I don't play defense until I make a shot. But I get a chance to go to heat practice, and like that part of it it gives me all I need. Like, all you need is whatever city you in is just to stop by the court for an hour or two or whatever that is. And that fulfills you and just gives you all you searching for that competitive. You got that competitive hunger that still drives you to play this game of basketball. Mike, this is minus all the beers, so I don't know if you're gonna pull up and play. But hey,
I seen him playing them college kids, man. Mike pull up outside, you D.
Mike was busting their ass in Memphis, though. I seen that. I was like, this must have been before the Budweisers, because I was watching them clips. I was like, hold up, what the killing this? And then at the they didn't show the rest of the clip. At the end, he went over and had a cooler of Budweiser sitting there when he sat out after he smoked them. They didn't show that clip.
But to your point, you remember when we was growing up playing on the playground, the dude wasn't drinking no Gatorade. OGs wasn't drinking no Gatorade and water in between games. He had his 40 with his brown bag. And you got your cut. You're right. That's how it went down.
You're right.
That's how it went down.
Mike from the hood. I knew it. Mike from the hood. I knew it.
For me, I still go outside, literally, and I put the beats on, and I play music I played in high school to get in my zone. And I'll be out there by myself. To this day, I pull up on a random park by myself, just going through drills, making new drills, new shit to go through.
Man, I'm going to brainwash my son when I get home. I'm going to play the first 10 minutes of this goddamn podcast over and over. In his
it's real, though.
And let him listen to this. Because what I told him, listen, he has a game today, and he plays at 3 o'clock. He plays at 6 o'clock, and he get out of school at 3. He was like, what I'm going to do till game time? I said, motherfucker, go shoot in the gym.
Go shoot.
He's like, I got 3 hours. He was like, I got 3 hours. What I'm going to do with the day? Go get you a snack and take your ass to the gym and shoot till game time. What the hell you mean what you going to do?
And then after that, go watch some film, go watch some YouTube to get the inspiration, whatever it is.
What the hell you going to do?
That's what we grew up with.
Get your goddamn shots up and get a snack or something. But I'll see your ass at 6, and you better be ready.
I'll see you at 6, and you better be ready.
I got my tripod. I'm making film. We finna get in. Like, you want to play, we going to play.
And that's the thing with kids, right? I don't know if all of ours and all of kids across the country, but especially ours, I don't know if they understand the biggest cheat code they have is us with the knowledge.
Yes.
Like, we can literally tell you everything. We can give you the answers to the test as far as, we ain't going to do the test for you, but we can give you the answers if you're working the right way. A lot of kids be in the gym, they work on the right. Like, you're working on shit that ain't going to work in the game. You're never going to do half this stuff. And some of these trainers are teaching that.
Not just
you got
the
to hold
kids.
them accountable, too.
Not just the kids, the pros, too. Growing at the pros, too. I see pros working on shit they ain't never doing. I'm like, man, listen, when you get in there, you was rolling to the basket.
Yep.
That's what you do.
Yep. That's what you do.
They'd be better off going in there for 45 minutes instead of 2 hours working on that dumbass. To be honest.
Come on, bro. Like, stuff that's going to transfer in the game. Because at that point, as OGs and adults, we're hurting them more than helping them if we're putting bad information in their data book. We're giving them the wrong game. So that's going to keep their career short. If you know how to play right, you're going to play longer.
Great point.
And when to work on it. Like,
great point.
I'll be honest, once you get in the season, if you don't have enough awareness to understand where your shots and where your opportunities are coming from, that's on you. Right now in the off season, you can expand that and come back and try to be a little bit different and show them. But at the end of the day, man, like, if you ain't have enough awareness to understand, like, I knew by year 3, in the league, I knew exactly where my shots were coming from. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to shoot 10,000 of them a day. And now it's on me.
Right.
Yes,
right.
yes. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to get me on the floor. That's what's going to be paid. That's what's going to make it more fun, more competitive.
For sure.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So you get drafted.
Hold up. But 51 at 39 years old, bro.
Mike, I'm going to be honest with you. That wasn't even the coldest stat. The coldest stat of that whole thing was for that month. It was a short month. I get it. We played 4 games. We won half the games, first off. I averaged 31 points, 6 assists off the bench in April. That was my highest scoring month of any month in my 20 years. So that was the most impressive stat to me. I'm like, damn, I averaged 31 points, 6 assists, shot like 50-something from 3 and 50 from the floor. And we won half the damn games. We didn't win no games that year. So I'm like, man, I took pride in that.
Why'd you stop playing? I'm being for real now.
Because honestly, they stopped me. And what I mean was the year before, I won Teammate of the Year. And to me, that was the most impressive award because that's not an award I'm trying to win. That's just being a good teammate, having character. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you can't question my character. Then I did that even before Phoenix. I signed a day before the season. I'm like, damn, a day before the season? That's crazy. Then I wait 16 months and go play in the bubble. So it's like I got to a point where I had depression at times. So I'm like, you know what?
Man.
I'm going to take – and these same teams, by the way, try to hire me to coach or be in their front office. So I'm like, damn, you know what? They want my brain, but they don't want me on the court. Okay, cool. So I'm going to take the power from them instead of just waiting. You know how it is, working out every day, don't know if you're getting the call. Still got to work out, got to be ready for your own sanity, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm doing all that, and I'm like, man, I'm taking control of my own career back. I earned that right. So that's why I stopped playing.
Yeah. Hey, no, listen, I totally understand, obviously, being in that situation. I've been with one organization, obviously, my whole career.
Yeah, that's such a blessing.
But you see how the last couple years of my career ended. And as a competitor, you think I was happy about that?
No.
Knowing I could
I
could have went somewhere else and contributed some minutes. But I got to the point where I said to myself, and this is how crazy I am in my mind. I'm going to show you I can win whatever situation you put me in.
That challenge.
You see what I'm saying? This is when I'm at my best. You gonna keep around. I'm gonna show you that whatever situation you put me in, I'm gonna figure out a way to win.
I'm gonna figure it out.
You know what I'm saying? But it was no fault. It was no fault of me. It was no fault of you.
No.
You got teammate of the year. I've always been known as a great teammate. We know guys that got.
I thought you were a teammate.
Here you go. Even when I got in a fight with that football player for you in college, you thought I was a teammate then too.
You're a great teammate. More of a friend that time.
And you did so much, bro. And I'm not just saying this. I use you as an example so much because there's situations around the league that are happening with young players, right? Where you're going to be like, nah, young fella, you can't do that. You got to move this way. And it may not stop the big thing that's coming, but it's going to slow it down for sure. Mm-hmm. And I think the league has to do better at that and making sure that there's 2 guys 10 years and above on the roster. Because if it's just one, what you did was damn near impossible.
Yes.
But if you have 2 guys speaking the same language, guys can go to that and slow things down. That's what we had. And that's what set the tone for all our careers because we had vets. I had Charles Oakley.
Yes.
I had Scottie Pippen. I had Rick Brunson. And they showed me Kendall Gill, how to be a pro. And I didn't understand. It's different than being a professional and being a pro. You're a professional because you got drafted to the pros. Being a pro is something different. And I think you brought that.
Amen.
And you know what about that? It was different is that the vets that you named, is those guys had an expectation and held you accountable.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? They weren't scared. Right. They weren't afraid to hold you accountable because they knew at the end of the day it's tough love and I want the best for you. So you come in here, I'm going to teach you how to win, and if not, I'm going to kick your ass or you got to go somewhere else. But what you ain't going to do is f- what we got going on. That's what you ain't going to do, young fella. You know what I'm saying? Right. So as you walked in those locker rooms, you respected the foundation that them OGs set down. And they laid that down and let you know this is how we going to win. This is how you going to get the way you want to go. And if you don't want to be a part of this, that's fine. But my ain't going to be here. You ain't finna this up for us.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? But you knew, you responded to it because you knew they wanted the best for you, Jamal. Absolutely. You knew they wanted the best for you. You know what I'm saying?
I don't make it 20 years. You don't make it 20 years. Mike don't make it, 15, 16? 17 years.
Yes.
Come on, man. That's 57 years between us 3. Like, you don't make it like that. One, if you're not a good person, first off.
Yes.
Second off, if you're not like that thorough on and off the court, it just don't happen in any business. That's not how it works.
Yeah, and for us 3, well, Mike, your back was broken, but for us, You know what I'm saying? It was that's my dog. You know I
Kill
love
him,
him.
kill him, kill him.
Mike,
kill
your
him.
back was broken. But listen,
See,
for
I did with Jamal.
me,
I see it. I see it. I see it.
And I sign up for this. That's the
I know.
crazy part. It's on me.
no, but
You just
listen,
like
even
getting mentally
no,
tortured. I got
I'm
you.
Mike, but even for us three, it was nothing that we did differently. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I was a mid-range sniper. The mid-range became obsolete. Like nobody wanted to shoot mid-range. It was either a dunk or a three. You know what I'm saying? You got your buckets. You were a great teammate for whatever reason. Mike, you shot the ball well from three. You know, there's a lot of guys that shoot the ball well from three. But for whatever reason, our situations end up being what it was. You know what I'm saying? But it was no fault of our own. This is just how the business goes. And I was speaking to Dre about it before. I went through that shit too. Boy, it was days where I would get up, dog, and I wouldn't even get out of bed and stay in the dark all day, Jamal. People don't even know that shit, dog.
That's real.
It was
real,
days,
bro.
dog. I would get out. It was so to get to the point where I became the leader that I was at the end of my career. It was hard to get to that point, boy. It was hard to get to that point. To kind of quiet the noise and just focus on the things you can control, which people always say focus on what you can control, which is easier said than done. It was hard for me to get to that point. So I know exactly what you went through, bro. I know exactly what you went through.
And people don't understand the discipline that it took for you to get there, the mental toughness, the heart, the sacrifice, like all those things going on. Even I heard y'all talking about 6 man before, right? And talking about Tyler Hero. And people don't understand that. Like when people be like, oh, you became a 6 man. Yeah, I did. But what you don't understand is me going to 6 man sacrificed me making All-Star.
Yes.
Tyler should have been an All-Star.
Yes.
If you sacrifice All-Star, and Mike knows this now, be on the side, you sacrifice your contract. Because if you're All-Star, that's maximum. Like they don't understand all those sacrifices that go into it. It ain't just I'm coming off the bench. No, I'm coming off the bench. I'm giving up money. I'm giving up whatever for the team. But then when the coaches pick, they'll say, "Oh, he's a 6 man."
Yes.
Well, damn, you still doubling me in pick and roll. You still preparing for me like I'm the starter. So you ain't gonna reward me for your spot. I got it. It's crazy, bro. He should have made All-Star, by the way.
I agree 1,000%.
It's funny too because just to touch on the 6 man, I think you could have won 6 man every year. To be honest with you, you won it 3 times. Like that mentality, and the funny thing about the league is once they box you in, because you should have, once they box you in there, like the next team doesn't have enough balls or creativity to understand, like, oh, just because he's a 6 man over there to sacrifice to win doesn't mean he can't be a freaking starter over here and be one of our key guys, right? Like, so it's weird because I think you could have won it every year, win it 3 times. I won it 1 year, and it was hard, and I probably should have because it's hard because the mentality every game going into it is like, yo, like I don't know when I'm going to go in there, but B, what's the game going to be like? The flow of the game's always different, and you'll be like this, it's going to be a light switch.
And you're a specialist because they know what you're coming in for. Like they're coming to stop that. They know exactly what you're coming in for.
Yes.
And that's why, honestly, I was hoping I made All-Stars as 6 man because I wanted to set the precedent that way. Like, no, you're not lesser than. Like, dude, my team at the time, the first time, I think we were fighting for number 1 in the whole league when they selected. I'm the second leading scorer playing with 2 superstars in Chris and Blake. And I'm leading the NBA in fourth quarter scoring.
Yeah.
And like, dude, how can we not even? But I was hoping so the Lou Williams, so the Tyler Heroes, these dudes who deserve to be All-Stars could do the same numbers they doing just starting the game, and they'd be All-Star. But since they're in a box of coming off the bench, you look at it that way. That's wrong.
Bro,
that's wrong.
I love the fact that you're speaking on this right now because if I rewind and if Tyler was sitting here with me right now, he would tell you when we made the move to make Tyler come off the bench. And that summer when the word got out that he was going to come off the bench, I had a conversation with Tyler. And the first thing I said to Tyler is, this is not the NBA of the 80s. This is not the NBA of the 90s. You can still make $100 million, average 20, and still be an all-star off the bench. And he didn't make it that year, but I was thinking in the same terms of what you were thinking, like, you're not less than. But he was young. He's younger. He was young at that time. And obviously when you think come off the bench, the first thing you think is less than. And the first thing I told Tyler, I was like, dog, if we win and you average 20, you'll get your money and you'll make All-Star. And he got his money. He did make All-Star, which, like you said, he should have.
He should have made
All-Star. He should have. But
remember,
he is. You're not less than. In my opinion, in today's NBA, if you come off the bench, there might have been a time, but like I say, guys like you changed that stigma. I don't think you're less than if you don't start coming off the bench.
See, and that's in our community. Think about it. How we grew up. It was always. Even from when we was kids, we'd run out to be the first 5. Like if somebody looked at the bench, we found he a bench player. That am I right, Mike? Like going back to that's exactly what it was. But you're not less than. And it means so much to me because when I came off the bench, I was just tired of being known as a good player on bad teams. So I'm like, whatever. Got traded to Atlanta. They got their starting five. They went to the playoffs. I'm all good. And it worked out for me. But it's really cool now that I'm older and I'm in the gyms and I see these kids. And these kids is like 13, 12. Man, I want to be a sixth man because you was doing it. I'm like, that's crazy. Because that wasn't the goal. That wasn't the plan back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool that that's changing a little bit. But Tyler, and I hope somebody breaks through and becomes that all-star off the bench because it got to be rewarded as well.
Yeah. What's up, basketball fans? It's a new year, which means new matchups and all new action to keep you pumped up this week. Whether it's your favorite team playing or a long-standing rivalry, there's always something good to watch. And don't forget to get in on the action with my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. They're offering all new customers $200 in bonus bets instantly after betting just $5. So don't wait. Download the DraftKings app now and sign up using code OGs. The crown is yours. Stay in on all the action and use your $200 in bonus bets on DraftKings same game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same game. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings got you covered. Bet live on in-progress games right as they happen, making watching the game that much more exciting. If sports betting is not available in your state, don't even worry about it. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code OGs and bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code OGs only on DraftKings Sportsbook.
Yo, what time is it? Game time. It's an exciting time of the year to be a sports fan. The NFL playoffs are here, NBA is in full swing, and there's no better place to get tickets than Game Time. They make getting tickets fast and easy. Game Time has a new feature, Game Time Picks, that makes getting tickets for your favorite live events and games even easier. Game Time Pick filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. What I like about Game Time app, aside from the new Game Time Picks feature, is the all-in pricing, so there's no surprise fees at checkout. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Just download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code OGs for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code OGs for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Remember, what time did I say it was? Y'all read that. It's game time, baby. You talked about that year with CP and Blake. That team was fun, man. Talk about some of that
scary.
stuff.
That's what's scary, boy. And then, like you said, once you deal with the layers of CP and Blake coming up in the pick and roll and DeAndre, then we got to worry about you coming off the bench in the fourth quarter. That was scary, dog.
Bro, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you this, and I ain't never said this. We saw y'all in China, right? You remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
We went to China.
Yes.
I think D-Wade just signed with Li Ning. We go to China. I signed with the Clippers that summer. And y'all blow us out the first game in China. It didn't feel like a preseason game. It felt like a real game. Y'all blew us out, and then we beat y'all. We left China. We was like, man, we going to see them in the finals. Like, we just thought we was going to see you guys in the finals. So to go back to what y'all are saying, bro, I think we're one of the best teams to have never been to the finals because we literally, at different points, we had every single piece you needed. I think for like a 5-year stretch, we had like the second and third most wins in the regular season, right? And then immaturity, injuries. There was a time when I think the Spurs beat you guys in 14. Yes. You guys beat them in 13. They beat y'all in 14. We came back and played the Spurs in the first round after they won the championship. It goes to 7 games. We beat them. We're like, damn, we put out the defending champs. Oh, this is the year. Chris gets hurt the last game. Remember at the game when he shot, but his hamstring gets hurt. We still go up 3-1 on the Rockets. It was so cold. In game 6, at home, we're up 19. We need to just finish this quarter. We're going to the Western Finals, which we think we're going to be Golden State. Because Curry was hurt at that time at first. But James Harden, when they came back in that game in game 6, he didn't play 1 minute in the fourth quarter. He was sitting there with his clothes. You know, he's thinking the game's over. It was Josh Smith, Pablo Prigioni, Jason Terry, Corey Brewer that came back and walked us down, and then they beat us in game 7. And that was like our last real chance that we thought to go to the finals.
See, that's a
bunch of dogs. They just threw the dogs out there. They just threw the dogs out there.
That's the type of shit when you retire. That's stuff you miss. Those playoff series.
I never got over that.
That's the that you lose sleep over. Yeah, that's the shit you lose sleep over.
You know, I never got over that, bro. Ever. That was our best chance. But like our practices. So our second unit at one time was myself, Bledsoe, Lamar Odom, Matt
Woo.
Barnes,
Oh my
Ronnie
gosh.
Torioff,
Oh.
Grant Hill. So we're going against the start.
Yeah, that's
so our
crazy.
practices, bro, are crazy. And we talking,
Ooh.
we going at it. And we won a lot. I ain't gonna lie. We won a lot in the second unit, but we went at it. And then, and y'all can look this up. There was a stretch for, I think, in a month, the starters didn't play in the fourth quarter. Because once it was even, then we came in, the game was over with. They didn't even have to come back.
Yeah, that's
It
iron
was
sharpening
crazy. That's
iron
my first
right
year
there.
in LA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
iron sharpening iron. That's how you want to practice, though. That reminds me
Yeah,
of
that's
the
how you-
first. That reminds me of the year we had the big three, and then we had Mike coming off the bench, and myself, and I think Rashad Lewis, and we had Ronnie Terrioff end up being with us. But those were the type of practices that we had. Obviously, until LeBron just took his to another level where nobody couldn't go to. But
Hey, can we talk about LeBron for a second? Is we talking OGs and playing?
that nasty ass dunk, that dunk last night,
Bro.
that shit was crazy.
I can't. You would have to put like Magic Johnson, Vince Carter. I'm just thinking like, I've never seen someone who is so smart and so athletic. Those two ain't supposed to go together like that.
Nah.
And the way he takes pictures of the game, like he's putting his mind in the game before he even puts any athleticism in the game.
Listen,
and then he's
man.
still windmilling off the wrong foot with the left hand. Like, bro, what are we doing?
If you're a low IQ coach, you can't coach LeBron because he'll put you to shame. He'll embarrass you. If you're a low IQ coach, he'll put you to shame and you can't coach him. And if you're a low IQ player, he gonna get you out of there because he can't tolerate that.
You probably can't play with him.
He can't tolerate that. Your basketball IQ has got to be up to par. Now, most guys' basketball IQ ain't gonna be on his level, but if you're a coach, he's gonna embarrass you if you don't have a good basketball IQ. And if you're a player, he gonna get you the fuck up out of there if you ain't got a good basketball IQ. Because his basketball IQ is just that great.
It's unbelievable to still watch what he's doing. Like, I saw a stat. It was, I think, from his sophomore year of high school till present day. He's only not averaged 25 points twice. I was like, what? Like, what? From sophomore year of high school to present day, he's only not averaged 25 twice, 2 or 3 times. I may be off one year.
I wonder what that was. When would that have been, though? You come to think of it.
I think it was his rookie year because he averaged 20.
Okay.
And I think he's right under 25 today. I think he's like 24.
That's a ridiculous stat.
And this coming from somebody who said that they don't want to score. Like he wanted to make. I never really wanted to be a scorer. You know, I just like to play basketball and I just like to make the right plays and play which he does. He does like to make the right play and he does rather pass. It's not just something he's saying. LeBron would like to make the right play and pass the basketball, but he is so gifted that somebody that has that mindset can still be the number one scorer in the whole league history.
So let me ask y'all this, and y'all see it up close. Both of y'all played with him. I'm not going to compare him to any players. Let's just keep him on him right now. What's your favorite version of him?
Oh,
Miami Heat.
Miami Heat?
That version, the Miami Heat version, yes. And I'll give you one.
One more?
I'll just give you one example. That game in Boston, when that goddamn bus showed up an hour and a half before the game, and an hour and a half before the game, we get on that bus, and that motherfucker,
it was over, Maul.
It's over.
That bus, he ain't speak the whole time. He mad because Brian, he's a routine. He's like a robot. Yeah. He has a routine that he goes through A to B. That bus showed up, and we had about an hour and a half before the tip off. Now you know the coach
messed up his whole routine.
His whole routine up. He didn't speak the whole time. We got to that arena, and we rambling, trying to get our socks on. We doing shit. We like, yo, we got to hurry up. Game about to start. We in the playoffs now. We looked over at Bron.
Back against the wall. It's a wrap.
Back against the wall.
We looked over at Bron. Bron, let me take my glasses off. Bron looked at us with this face.
Oh, you taking the glasses off for this?
Looked at us and he did like this. Don't worry about it.
We'll be just fine.
Don't worry about it. We'll be all right.
Ball, I looked at him. I said, come on. I said, come on, Killer. He looked at me and said, Killer, I'm throwing everything at him. I'm shooting every bullet in the gun. I'm going to take the clip out, throw it at him, and I'm going to throw the gun at him, too.
Listen.
Damn, we're going to be I said, damn, we're going to be fine tonight.
That came out with a Gatling gun. Listen. It was, I don't give a we were great teammates. He had help, but I don't give a if you put Larry, Curly, and Mo out there with him that night. That was coming home with that dub. He was coming home with that dub, boy.
Go back and watch this game, man.
Boy, go watch it.
Most amazing game I've
ever watched. Watch it. That we showed up an hour and a half before the tip-off.
And understand something all real quick. Like we just get beat because you got to have the whole context of it. We get beat the year before to Dallas, which we got walked down. We should have beat them in the finals.
Yeah.
Right. You go into the next season. Chris Bosh gets hurt.
Yes.
So we're in game 6. I believe it was out Bosh. I think he came back game 7. I got to remember this.
Chris Bosh got hurt, but you want to win, put your D in. We got that. We figured that. We
it,
figured that part out.
I got to paint the whole picture here. You know what I mean? Like so we go into this. If we're down 3-2.
Yes.
Going into Boston.
3-2 going into Boston. 3-2 going into Boston, bro.
Yeah,
yes.
Going into Boston.
Yes.
That's what their intentions are, obviously. He comes in here, and I'm telling you, it's the best game I've ever watched with my own 2 eyes. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's literally like 40, 16, 9 on like 5 misses.
Man.
I think he went like 12 straight shots. Didn't miss.
Oh, my gosh.
The crowd,
listen, every time he made a shot, the crowd, like they had stomach cramps. Like, I mean, the got, bro, it was like, until the point where just nobody wasn't saying no more. Like, everybody was just quiet. Like, that was crazy. That was crazy.
I'm so amazed with him anyways, though, because we talk about, what version of him was the best. Obviously, that Miami one, because his athleticism was so elite, and he was so fast and strong, and I saw it every day in practice. He talked about it like there was levels to it, man. He brought that every single day. Like, that's the thing that people understand. Like, he came into practice with the same mentality.
Yes.
Like, he was trying to kill people.
You was greatness.
Yes, and then I go to him with Cleveland. I a year ago back to Memphis, and then I go with him to Cleveland after the following year. His athleticism actually came down just a little bit, but then he started shooting the ball better, and he started freaking figuring out his spots better. I was like,
so he became a better player.
Stop. And then and when I first saw him, I'm like, golly, man, that's easy. Because that was the year coming from that, he was jumping over dudes, dunking on cat, like it was like that. And then he started to get it back again. I'm like, this dude's not human, man. Like he's not human, bro.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing to see.
Crazy.
Like someone asked me in Cleveland when I left there, how many years you think he got left at this level? And I was like, bro, like, I mean, he's so good. Like I can see probably another 2, 3, and he's still doing it.
He's still doing it. And still can do it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be his mental challenge. Like, all right, am I just bored, or do I have it in me to take the cold baths and do it every day? It ain't gonna be something where I'm like, I can't play no more. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Maul came out and said you do this at this level for another 4 or 5 years.
And he ain't lying.
Then he started talking about, I said 5 to 7.
And he ain't lying, bro. The question for him is gonna be, honestly, because he's been to the mountaintop and he's won championships. Is it worth it if I really don't have a championship roster around me?
Right.
And I think that would be the question that he has to ask himself every year. No fault of JJ, that's just not a championship roster. That's just reality.
No, it's not.
That's just reality. That has nothing to do with JJ. That is not a championship roster. So the question that Bron is going to have to ask himself is, if they don't put a championship roster around him and AD, does he still want to do it? Because what else he doing it for? Like, he's got the records. Like, now I'm playing for championship because I know what that feels like. That's the only thing that going home in the finals losing don't make me feel good. Like I want.
Or it's now the win. I'm just gonna play with Bronny and make sure. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a whole different level of winning, right? So it could be that.
That's a great point.
This next segment is brought to you by DraftKings.
Speaking of championship rosters, who do you like in the West and in the East right now? Out of curiosity, because you're always tuned into it.
The East, I still like Boston, but I think New York, healthy and right, could be a formidable opponent.
Mm-hmm.
I always had Miami as a dark horse.
Cleveland, no.
I honestly, I think Cleveland's more regular season. I always had Miami as a dark horse, but there's a lot going on right now, so I'm gonna just keep them to the side for a minute. But I think New York's the biggest threat to Boston with the way they shoot it and their spacing, and they've mastered. And I've watched them close now. They've mastered. They're not caught up in egos. Cap's like, oh, okay, I'll be the man tonight. Brunson, you be the man. They don't care. And their team is built like that.
Yes.
And you know how it is. Most of the time it's egos where I'm the top dog, and it's got to be like that every night. They'll float between Batman and Superman. They don't care.
Yes.
Tonight you get 40, tomorrow I'll get 40. And let's just keep rolling. And they got players around them. And they're still missing Mitchell Robinson, who's a rim protector. So I like them, right, as a threat to Boston if there is one. In the West, I'm messed up. I ain't gonna lie to you, because I thought when Phoenix was healthy before KD got hurt the first time, like, ooh, they may break through. I thought the Olympics put him and Booker back on the same page. I thought they was going to be playing, and then injuries happened. So the West, I'm going to need y'all's help on the West. I don't know.
I'm going OKC.
You know what?
And
I might ride with you, D. I might ride with you on that.
I'm just telling you.
I like the dog pound down here in Memphis.
Yeah, you do.
Listen, let me tell you something.
I might ride with OKC though. Why, D? Why?
Because I'm a big Hartenstein fan. He is. I'm telling you,
that's a hot take.
That makes check his stats. You ain't got to run there and play for him. And at the end of the game, the have 16 points, 14 rebounds, 2-3 blocks, 6 assists, and he only played like 25, 30 minutes. And this is with Chet out. This is with Chet out. You know what I'm saying? And they haven't missed a beat. They still have the #1 record in the West. That is, I'm telling you, when you watch what the Knicks are missing, yeah, Mitchell Robinson is going to help their rim protection, but in the playoffs, they're going to miss Hartenstein.
Oh yeah, they will.
They're going to miss Hartenstein. He tough. He got toughness. He got all that.
I think OKC brought like a college style of togetherness to the pros.
Yes.
Like how they built the team, how they play, and they got a real dog leading them. Like SGA is for real.
Real dog. Quiet, real dog. Because we talk
about dogs like Ant Edwards, and he like, nah, dog, he didn't MVP. When people like that say shit like that about you, you already know what time it is. Yeah. So I think, and they're young enough, and they almost oblivious enough where the moment's not too big. Whatever.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
I called it out. Go ahead, Killer.
No, I think listen, SGA is who he is. We ain't got to talk about that. That's a dog. The question is, and I think Jalen Williams is freaking the man. I think he's really good. Is he going to be that second fiddle throughout the whole playoffs?
There's
levels to that playoff.
Hell yeah.
I know he's really good. I know he's really good, man. But he hasn't been. He had a little experience last year. Like we talk about it all the time, bro. SGA is going to win you a couple games in each playoff series. That's how good he is. Your other guy's going to have to do that same thing. And the role players win one game. And I think they have enough. Their depth is elite. They're really, really good defensively with Caruso and Lou. Like they're freaking defensively. And when Chet comes back defensively, they're going to be elite. But there's something there, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be interesting. Again, they're probably the favorites. I would say they're the favorites.
Mike, let me add one more thing to that. And I covered the playoffs last year, and we had a bunch of different teams. They have another star there, too, and his name is Mark Daigneault. He was as impressive as any coach we talked to.
Florida Gator.
Yes, he is.
He was so impressive, and I think the way he manages a game, the way he manipulates the game as well, he's seeing stuff out there in a whole different spectrum. Almost like Spo. He got some Spo with him. You know what I mean? Like he's like a star over there, so I got to give him his props. He was as impressive as any coach we talked to last year.
And we talked about it. We talked about offensively, and we talked about the coaching staff. But they got two guys in Caruso and shout out my dog, the Haitian sensation, Luke Dort. Ça passe. They got two guys that can defensively lock in and make your series hell for 7 games. Mind you, while SGA is still over there quietly, I call him sensei. He's a sensei master. He quietly slicing your ass up. Quietly. And he ain't sweating, and he got 35 and 10 at the end of the game. They got it, bro. I'm trying to tell you, they got it.
I can't hardly argue. I'm with you. I think it's just seeing that next step. Like, everyone wants to see that next step. And it might be this year.
And they got that brotherhood and that connection you talked about, Jamal. That brotherhood and that connection, when the series get tough and it's 3-3, the most connected locker room is what's going to win Game 7.
And they're going to have home court. We know how tough it is playing OKC. And y'all know I had a bag.
You had a Birkin, boy. You had a Birkin.
Even Lou Dort, I looked at like, ooh, I got to figure him out. Because he's strong. He can move. He takes that challenge.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
No, I didn't say I wouldn't have figured it out. I just said it took him some time. I'd have figured it out, though.
You had a Birkin, boy. You had a Birkin.
Him and Caruso defensively are elite. But you can figure that out for sure. That's going to be interesting. It's going to be a fun playoffs.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Now that we're talking about playoffs and basketball and you working games, some interesting things coming for you in the future. So we're going to be looking for that, brother. Congrats on that.
Yeah, man.
Some interesting
excited
things.
About the future for me. Yeah, I'm excited about the future. It's crazy because after I stopped playing officially, I threw myself into coaching kids, starting with the 6th graders. And then from there, like I went on TV, hey, feeling for Chuck. I'm like, all right. Like I still didn't think that was my future. And then it started with studio, as y'all know, and then it's graduated to games. So I want to own this space. Like you said, you took it as a challenge when they were doing that with you late in your career. I'm taking this as a challenge. And calling games, I feel like I can kind of make my own way. And I've had some great mentors and great people to work with. Kevin Harlan and Mike Breen, these is GOATs, Reggie Miller. Yes. So for me, I'm learning so much, and I want to be as good as I was on the court in that space. So I'm excited about the future for sure.
Dope.
I mean, I had a chance to work with you, bro, and obviously, you know,
We had a ball.
You dropped some gems on me being on that side, man.
Man, you dropped it on me too. Hey, you know what, Mike? When it was me and him, I feel like it was Nas and Jay. He say something, I look, okay, oh, he got me on that one. He come back. We was going back and forth with it. It was also Ross. We was doing our thing. It was dope. But it kept everything light. It kept everything dope. It kept everything sharp. That's my guy.
And you made me comfortable, bro. I would have told you that because being on a set with another player as opposed to, like you said, guys like, you know, Tom Breen, just all these guys that didn't play, but in a great respect for what they do as analysis and announcers, but sitting next to another player, you know what I'm saying, somebody that speaks the same language as you, it just made me more comfortable, bro. So I'm looking forward to seeing you on that next level.
And
dog.
you are a rising star, as we all know. Like I love when UD is coming on any platform I'm watching, because I know he's gonna drop something. It's gonna be something that connects everybody, but it's also gonna connect culture. And I love that because it's somebody that's representing all of us up there, and he's making sense. He's speaking the truth, and he did it at the highest level. So we always love when you're on there. We got to show love.
Appreciate you, dog. Everybody can't be an agent like you, Mike. We got to go out here and work.
Yeah, we can't do that, Mike.
Yeah, we got to go out here. We got to go out here and work for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you can't just sit at home.
I feel so bad
Mike, what's been the biggest surprise with doing it? Being a former player, like what surprised you the most?
I think just understanding the process of what goes into like teams making their decisions. You know what I mean? Like as a player, you looked at the front office completely different as you do as an agent, right? As a player, it looked like they know exactly what's going on, and what you realize is that stuff's last minute for them too, and they're not planning a lot of things, and they got to work and react, and they see the game obviously a little bit different than players do. So that's been a little bit of a challenge. Is like sometimes you wonder if you're watching the same game you're watching, but
it's them athletics. Athletics. They use the athletics for everything. I was like, man, that shit ain't basketball, man. Athletics, man. That ain't basketball.
They're definitely into the analytics a lot. You know what I mean? And so like we're in the old school part. Like to me, analytics should confirm what our eyes see. Some of them kind of flip it around. Like they solely base it on analytics, which again, there's no right or wrong answer, but that's been a challenge. And then just understanding like young kids coming through it, like the awareness of them still. We talk about it, right? Is I think they need people like us in their corner. I think they really, really need it. You said earlier, we have the cheat code. We've seen it. We're not going to be 100% right, but we can almost tell you exactly how it's going to play out if you live by this code.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
And that's really where I think I've thrived in this business is like just being real with these dudes, right? Yeah. Like don't tell them what they don't want to hear. Tell them what they need to hear. So it's been fun.
That's true.
You talked about, obviously, Killer, you touched on it with the next generation and telling them what they need to hear. How was it working with Wemby, Jamal? And how was that, getting in the gym with him? And we kind of touched on it a little bit, but wanted to let you elaborate on it a little more. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's like you see something from a distance, and you're like, oh, man, he's a unicorn. He's 7'5", he can do this, he can shoot threes, he can dribble. But that's not the most impressive part about him. Seeing him up close and going to dinners with him and hearing his mind and how he thinks and how I'm like, man, like my man's conversations would like you guys would think you were talking to like a 50-year-old dude because he's so brilliant. The way he prepares and the game means everything to him, and he's like a role player and like this unicorn all in one. Like he's not like, oh, okay, man, I'm a unicorn. I should have got the ball right there. He's like, I ain't get it. I'll go chase the rebound. Yeah. I ain't get it. I'll sprint down court. And he doesn't care about anything other than like winning. That's all he cares about. Like he knows he's different. He appreciates that. He respects it, but his respect for the game, he wants to talk to the greats. He wants to see what pushed them. He wants to see how it can make him better. Almost like how we hear the Kobe's, the LeBrons, the Jordans, how all them dudes were getting information, and he wants all that information. But to see him up close, I say this humbly, it's one of the best 5 basketball experiences I've ever had. Wow. Period. And that's a lot for me. Like winning the state championship, meeting and playing against Michael Jordan, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's up there on that short list of things in my life, basketball wise, with just who he is. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it.
That's impressive. That's impressive. Hey, AUD, obviously Seattle, big Paolo came from there. He saw Paolo grow up and part of that whole story. So, and he was we told a funny story. Paul just told it to me before we got on here. Was when Kyrie saw Paolo for the first time. Well, tell me that story.
Yeah, so Kai comes out. This was going into his last year in Boston UD, and if you remember, the year before that he was hurt, so he missed like the second half of the season. So he hadn't played 5-5 at all.
Yeah.
So coming into that last year in Boston, he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna be out in Washington. I'm gonna stay for the month. Let's get it in." So I set up like runs for him. I had Zach LaVine, I had the great Bill Russell there watching. I had DeJounte Murray. And I had this 15-year-old kid in the runs. And, he's like, yo, I had Matisse Thybulle, I had college guys. And Kai's like, yo, what college points to the 50? We weren't on the line. Who's who, what's what, the guys he didn't know. He's like, yo, who's that 15-year-old? I'm not 15. He said, who's that college kid? And I said, who, him? I point to Paolo. I'm like, oh, he's 15. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, he's 15. At the time, P was like 6'8", 6'9", still strong, but knew how to play. So it's been dope to see P's journey, not only because the superstar we knew he would be, like even in those runs, he went from like the road dude. Okay, I'm just going to rebound, I'm going to put it back, I'm going to set screens. To each year, he's grown. So we have pro runs out here. So he started with just the rebounding dude to graduate to I'm on his team, and I'm like, you the man, here, you got it. I'm the point. Now you made me go to being a point guard to get you the ball. Here, you got it. Now, we're here for I stopped runs. This summer I stopped the run. And I wasn't even playing, but I was supposed to play as a lot of young guys. And Paolo was out there, and Paolo's so nice. He's a great kid. Great young man, I shouldn't say kid. Great young man. And people are shooting that shouldn't be shooting. They trying to show him he can play. I'm like, hold up, timeout. Everybody bring it in. We here for him. Like, hold up. We not here for y'all to show what you can do. We here for this dude, Jay McDaniels, Zach LaVine, these pros to get what they need out of it. And then you stand out within that. Star on your role. Because P's not going to say it. So I said it for all of them. And everybody like, oh, okay, we get the assignment. And that's part of being OG. But I had to make sure the run was fulfilling for all those dudes, especially him.
I love that,
give me your top 5 Seattle players. Because I tell you, man.
I knew you was going to do this.
I was thinking the same thing.
I'm saying, though, because getting to know P the way I have, and then obviously knowing you, like, you don't realize who all came out of there.
Yes.
Like when I go back to Seattle and work out with them, and I saw you at camp this last summer, like when I go down there, like you're like, damn, he's from.
I don't think the world knows. I don't think the world knows y'all got a hoop bed out there, bro. I don't think the world knows that.
No, we do. We really do. And it just came from like 1990. So I'm going to go Doug Christie, Nate Robinson, Isaiah Thomas, Brandon Roy, of course, and Jason Terry. Then I'm going to give you 5 more that's going to be on the list.
Brandon Roy.
Paolo, DeJounte Murray, Zach LaVine, man.
And you is buckets too. We ain't talking about we talk about straight up if your ass ain't on point, you're gonna get 35, 40 put on your ass.
No, we come to the arena with a chip on our shoulder.
Yeah,
we already feel like we overlooked. We're in the northwest part of the country. People say rain. People like, is that black people in Seattle? People, we already underestimated. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel you.
We already coming with that chip, and we got hoopers. And they cut from a certain cloth. And steel sharpens steel. So we're always in the gym. We always hooping. We always going at each other. You can walk in the gym as a kid, and Paolo was his kid. You can walk in the gym as an 8th grader, and right in front of your face, you can see 13, 14 pros playing right there. And you can sit there and watch. They're going to give you game. They're going to talk to you. I got to put Doug Christie on there. Shout out to him coaching. I hate to see Mike Brown get fired, but Doug Christie is doing an amazing job. That's my OG.
Yes, sir.
But, so it's like, it's so accessible. And it's really impressive because you think about it. The Sonics left in 2008. We have 30 pros since 2008 with no NBA team. So that shows the impact in the community the pros have had because we've never left. That 8th grader can text me. That 10th grader can text Paolo. That 11th grader can text DeJounte and get information. Can you break down this film for me? What you see? Can I get a gym with you? All those things. So now that next generation is already rolling. And that's how we do it up here. I think that's what makes it special. It's not that crabs in a bucket mentality.
I'll be honest. I'm obviously not from there. Haven't been there very often besides when Seattle left. But being back there a little bit I have now with P, what you're saying is exactly right. I think it's why he's going to be special, why he already is. But because you start seeing it when you're around, you're like, damn. These dudes are completely different right here. Like they want everyone to win. That doesn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, there's enough for everybody. And I saw Doug Christie did it for me. And when I went drafted by Chicago, I saw Antoine Walker over here, Tim Hardaway over here, Mike Finley. And they were working out together, but I just didn't see that camaraderie to that degree off the court, doing events together. If P has a camp, 5 of us better go. If I'm doing a pro-am, 10 are coming. If DeJounte's doing a camp, 7 are going. Like, that's how it should be. And that's what makes it special because we all pushing each other, but we're gonna all root for each other as well, and help each other, and help the next generation.
No, that's real. That's how that should be. I love to hear that, bro. I love to hear that, man. I want to ask you this. Just recently, James, well, I don't know, 4-point plays. Like that is crazy to even have that kind of record. James Harden passed you, but what the f, Jamal? 4-point plays, like
bro, look. I'm gonna tell you though.
Like what the dog? Like goddamn dog.
This is where it comes from, UD. And I know you would get mad at me sometimes when I get them fouls against Miami, and you would look at the ref like you on spree welling. But this what happened. This what happened.
You didn't want to spree well.
I do it how? I'll be like, how?
And he had the straight backs too at the time. He had the straight back. But my ninth grade coach, shout out to Dom Wapo, when I was a freshman, he said college guys and pros get their shot from here as quick as possible. So when he told me that, I went home and I worked on it. So I think full circle, that's why I got fouled so much, because I put you to sleep and I get it from here. If I get it from here and you don't contest, what's the first thing a coach is going to say in a film session? No, you got to contest.
Yeah.
So they're trying to contest, and I'm going to use that against them. I'm going to embellish. I'm a gamesmanship. I'm going to bring it to the forefront that is some contact. And at that point, that part's easy. I already see the hoop. So the hardest part of the 4-point play for me was a free throw.
That is in the. Do you know that was in the scout report?
You talking about you need the hardest part was a free throw?
No, that was in the scout report. That was in the scout report when we played you, bro.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Do not foul him on threes.
Every team I played on.
4-point plays. Like, do not foul him on threes. 4-point plays. You know what? If I'm not mistaken, you the reason we probably start side contesting. We do the side contest now. It's this contest from the side.
Killer, UD. Think about that, right? So if the scout report is saying don't foul him, mentally you're already giving me a free shot, because you're not going to really contest. You'll be there a little bit, but I already got a free one.
I mean,
you know what I mean? So that's
the problem with the side contest is if you shot fake, I'm giving you the driving lane.
Yeah, my business. Yeah, you
didn't left me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I side contest and go here and I open up, you're a smart enough basketball player. I do that once. You're gonna leave me in. You're gonna leave me in the dust next time.
I had to run a pick and roll with you, by the way, UD, because you was damn near a trap. It felt like a trap. I said, let me get him out of the pick and roll. Oh yeah, we gotta keep him away. Keep him out of the action.
I was blitzing. I was definitely a blitz guy for sure. I had to blitz. I had Shaq on the backside, so I had to do all the blitzing. I had to guard my man and his.
Hey, Paul, talking about hoop now. Give me your top 5 guys handles in the league right now.
Right now, today, Kyrie. I know you guys get that.
Everybody know that.
Yeah.
Darius Garland's a sneaky one.
Yes. I tell my son to watch him.
Yeah, Darius Garland's cold. I like Rob Dillingham. He hasn't got a chance to show us yet, but he got a top 5 handle. I'm gonna put SGA in there right now because maybe I'm seeing him so much, but SGA is a sneaky one. He can do whatever he wants with the rock.
That's cool.
And then the 5th one, Chris Paul still got a handle. If we want to count, if I want to put one of the OGs in, I'm gonna put Chris Paul in there.
He gets to any spot on the court he wants.
Oh, and Steph Curry got one too. I'm sorry. Chef can cook up.
You see that shit he did last night on the Heat?
And LaMelo. Damn, I gotta put Melo in there too. I'm sorry. Them seven. That's 5 and then 5-5 the last 2. Yeah.
Hey, Killer hit you with the question about the best ball handlers in the league. But let me ask you this: what about our league as a whole? Where we at? Why the ratings down? Where we at, dog? What? Talk to me about that. What's the problem here? Besides the fact that Netflix tried to take Christmas from us, what we doing?
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I think my personal opinion is everything looks the same. It's cookie cutter. Like I can plug and play every player in almost every system because there's no diversity. It's no creativity. The guys who are creative, Ant, Ja, Paolo, SGA, LaMelo, them dudes all stand out. Chef, yes. Kyrie, because you know what I mean, like Joker, Luka, because they're different than the norm. So I think there's not enough creativity. I do think it's too many threes, to be honest with you, but I don't blame the players for that or the coaches. That's where I kind of go towards analytics because, excuse me, I'm overcoming the cold, but because we say analytics, we say this, the 3 or the layup or a free throw.
Yes,
that's crazy because where it matters most in the playoffs, we take whatever bucket we can get.
Hell yeah,
mid-range, whatever's gonna move that scoreboard is what's important at the time. So for me, I think I want to see defense be more aggressive, and I know I was more of a scorer, and I want to see it because I want to see if even my works. The shit I've been working on all summer. I don't want to go to LA Fitness. I know it's going to work, and no, I want the best defender. See if it's going to work at the toughest
Yes,
moment.
sir.
So I want more aggressive defense. I want guys to stop missing games. If we're gonna load manage, let's load manage in practice because these kids are out here may not see you, but once a year. I want to see my favorite players play if they can.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just the creativity. That's where I'm at with it. And we need more OGs in.
I mean, I love the fact that you said that because when we had Dre on, we talked about what the league could do different. We talked about what the Players Association could do different. But I looked Dre in his eyes and I said, but as players, we can do better as well. As players, we can be more accountable as far as playing games and playing the right way and doing things like that. We can do better as well. So I think, in order for us to get the game where we think it should be and back where it belongs, everybody got to take some accountability.
But do y'all remember when we were in high school and middle school? We were like, man, I would do anything to get in the NBA.
What?
I was a kid. I was like, man, I'll pay the NBA to let me play in the NBA. I wouldn't even worry about no money. I wanted to be out there so bad. If we stayed as pros connected to that kid, it's gonna always guide you the way you need to go. Nah, you gotta push through. You're a little sore, okay? We gotta push through. Take care of it in practice. Whatever it is. But these kids are out there and we have to give them inspiration. Yes. We have to. That's our job. That's our duty.
Yes.
We have to tell them the little things that matter. And part of the game too, I think some of these trainers, I gotta call it the trainers, they're not teaching the right things that's gonna transfer in games. It's really individualized.
Yes.
Like when I grew up, I loved the Lakers because I knew they had Magic and Kareem. And I could identify. There's so much movement now as well. You know what I mean? So like it's hard to just say, okay, I like this team anymore. You just following players at this point.
Yeah. Because
the contracts are shorter, like things change. So it's a combination of things that need to be worked on for sure to keep growing our game for the future.
Hey, Maul, before we let you out of here, I want to have a couple fan questions. Are you cool with that?
For sure, absolutely. Hold on. Hey, Mike, I've been waiting to be on OGs. I've been asking you, D, when can I be on OGs?
Yeah, listen. Listen, let me tell you something. I wasn't even finna get to the fan questions yet. I wanted to ask you about Lob City for a little bit, like real quick on that. Like that Lob City was live, though. Like,
man, bro, it was the greatest show.
Yeah, it was,
the way I saw it is you had JJ, CP, and myself JJ can make 9 threes. CP could shake somebody. I make somebody. Like, so we had the ground game, and then you had DJ and Blake in the air. So we had like the best of everything. And we was trying to outdo each other. I'm going to tell y'all something. When I did that pass to Blake, and CP is the truth, CP ain't say congratulations. He was like, okay. Then a week later, he throw that lob to DJ, and he tweeted, hey, Blake and JC, I'm going to let y'all finish, but hold up. DJ got the best dunk. I said, also, he was holding on to that.
Yeah.
Going back to a me and you, D, it's still sharpening steel. And so me and Blake, like, okay, we going to go to Toronto. Me and him did a double or triple lob, whatever it was. He lobbed it to me. I lobbed it back to him. And yeah, I think that's how I went. And D-Wade and Bron tweeted about it. Bron was like, yo, D-Wade, we got to steal that one. So it was like something that took over the whole league, to be honest with you. It just, man, it was a special time. It was the funnest team I ever played on, the best team I ever played on as well. It was nothing like Lob City. We could do a 30 for 30 on Lob City for real.
You damn right you could. And I ain't gonna lie, we talk about iron sharpening iron, and we don't forget. One year I got, I think, second or third in 6-man because I led the league in double-doubles off the bench. I think you won.
Damn.
I think you won.
I did.
I think you
My
won.
bad.
Yeah, I think you
My
won.
fault.
Since we
Any other year you had it.
Since we remembering, I led the league in double-doubles off the bench, but I ain't win that year. Have you seen the new Clippers arena?
Huh?
You seen the new Clippers arena? I heard that crazy.
Yeah.
How is
it's
it?
Unbelievable. I went to a tour. It's crazy. And I know Steve Ballmer, so from Seattle, with Microsoft and everything. So he's such a visionary. Like, bro, every seat has a charging station on it. There's so many bathrooms, it'll never be a line. Like, it has like, man, it's crazy. It has like gyms inside of gyms. Like, it's crazy. They have gyms you could just rent out for marketing. You have another gym you just do this for. Like, it's crazy. It's nothing like it. It's nothing like it. He's playing a different game though with that money though. He's playing a whole different game.
Killer, we got to pull up, man. Take care of that.
Yeah.
Mike, take care of that, Mike. We got to pull up, Mike. Take care of that.
Yeah.
Mike got it. JC, don't worry about it. Mike got it. Mike got it. Mike got it. He an agent.
Yeah, agent.
Okay.
Yeah, take care of that.
Yeah, I got you guys. Jamal, who's the best defender that you play against? That you played against?
Tony Allen.
Tony Allen. T.A.
He would love to hear it. That man, first team.
Dog.
Hey, first team. And what's crazy is he went on the show a few years back, And he said I had the best crossover. And I would have never known it that he played against. I would have never known it because he was so good defensively. Like, bro, my pregame naps, I'm thinking about Tony Allen. Damn, what move am I going to have to do to get it? Like, that's how good of a defender. I never did that with nobody. Like, that's how good of a defender he was. His feet, his hands, that Chicago grip. Unscreenable.
Unscreenable. I've never seen anything like it. When I played with him in Memphis, it didn't matter what. They could run a million pick and roll. He was going to be right in front of your chest by the time that pick and roll was done.
Yeah, and he didn't care about scoring. So his score was getting a stop. So I'm like, damn, he ain't even got to save energy for the other end. He just going to do this like that. So Tony Allen was the best.
He's so good.
I got one more thing before we get out of here, man. We all fathers raising kids that play the game of basketball.
For sure.
And obviously we had our fair share of successes. Let's just talk about real quick, touching on raising kids that are playing the game of basketball after we've made it to the NBA and, you know, them creating their own lane and their own path. But obviously us shedding jewels and diamonds and helping, you know, mold them into the man we hope they can be. But also we got to let them run a little bit and got to give them a little slack to do their thing and be who they are. You know what I'm saying? We all are experiencing that. Mike, right now, you're experiencing it at a higher level right now. But, you know, we got my young fella in the 8th grade. Your kid is, what grade is he in?
8th grader.
You got an 8th grader too?
8th grader.
So we all experiencing this, man. Like, let's just touch on this real quick before we go, because, you know, it's bigger than basketball because obviously they're our kids. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And sometimes they see they're our kids in the way of, Dad, you just dad. You know, like, not that you don't know what you're talking about and you went through this journey and you can help them along the way. It's just, you just dad. All right, Dad's telling me again. But if you get one of your partners, I bet if you have D-Wade pull up on him, or Killer talk, it's a different sound to the message.
What is that, man? What is that, Jamal? Explain that to me, because I tell my son all the time, if I'm not cool, Dad, who the is? Like, show me a cooler dad. Please, show me a cooler dad than Jamal Crawford. Show me a cooler dad than Mike Miller. Show me a cooler dad than Udonis Haslem. Like, show me this. But they won't listen to us.
You just dad. And that's a good thing, too, because we don't want them to look at us like anything other than dad. But Dad know what he's talking about in this situation. So, I mean, even with my son, JJ, I told him something about dribbling. Hey, you don't need to do all of it. Just do, part of that. Kyrie comes and coaches with me a few years back. He's like, hey, JJ, you good, man? Just do that. You're like, oh, okay. Like, he ain't never heard it before. Oh, okay, I got you. Right? So sometimes we got to use each other as well to get those messages across. But I got an older son, Eric, who plays. My son, JJ, plays. Now my youngest daughter's getting into it. And just to see them chase their dream and see how they want to play and how you don't have to push them towards it. Like, they're finding the gym. The gym ain't got to find them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're finding wherever it is. I just made that up. That was a little bar. Right?
Nah, that's dope. I like that shit. You trust me. You ain't got to worry about that. You already know I'm holding on.
Yeah, you download that one. But go ahead, Kelly.
Hey, to give you guys a little something there too, because I am a little further along in the process. And I hope you don't get it too late. Is they'll come back around. They're gonna be like, oh damn, Dad, you said a lot of that coaches are saying. You said a lot of that.
And those memories that come back, right?
Yeah, they start coming
back when I was 12.
Said, you should listen to me when you were 14. But you know what though, it is a joy, man, to see these kids do that. It's you just hope and pray for them to hope they enjoy it. But finding the gym and not having the gym find you, one is a bar, but two, it's a fact. I mean,
for me, it's that fine line of pushing you to be your best version, but also letting you go through it and make sure we maintain our relationship. Because I love my daddy, God rest his soul, but boy, if I ain't dominate and score 30, he was in my shit. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, for my kid, I obviously want him to understand he didn't play his best game, but I want you to enjoy the game.
Yeah.
I want you to enjoy the traffic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got that from D-Wade. Enjoy the traffic sometime on the ride. You know what I mean?
I like that.
I want, because I don't want you to feel like your team won, you scored 15, and I'm going to still light your ass up because you didn't get 3 rebounds and missed 3 shots. It's things like that. And I understand it now. Like you said, Killer, the kids come back now, and they say we understand. So I understand now why my father was like that, because of the circumstances I had to deal with growing up.
Right.
I had to be tougher than tough. Like, I had to be stronger than strong. Like, all these things I had to deal with. My kids don't have to deal with those things. So as I'm pushing him, I want to make sure that we maintain our relationship. Because, if you push him too hard, you can push him away.
And that's the fine line, right? And that's what I figured out, too. Like, you push them, and then you know when to back up a little bit. And then you push them a little more, and I think they hear you differently, and I think it doesn't affect y'all's relationship. If anything, it makes y'all closer, where he's like, you know what? I can go through adversity Pop's gonna be there to support me. He's gonna push me through. He's gonna help me through it. But I'm learning this as well on my own, how to deal with certain things. And I don't feel the pressure of that. Like, they're coming up in a different era than we did. We had to really go through some shit to get where we got. This era is different, but we want them to go through it, but give them a little bit of that old school touch as well.
Mike, how you know when to take a step back?
Huh?
How did you know when to take a step back?
I mean, I'll be honest, even through the whole process, I never pushed him to do anything. I was more of the thing, like, I'm not going to be your alarm clock. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to really do this, come on, man, you can step with me. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you also, what you guys are saying is completely true, bro. You also got to keep it real with them too. If you're going to keep it real with others, you got to do it yourself.
Yeah, you have to. Yes.
You know what I mean? So, like, you know, there's times it's, you know, and having self-awareness for your kids and understanding that. But as parents, we have a huge responsibility, right? Like, you can't just tell someone else's parents to have self-awareness. We got to have it too. Yeah. So, like, you know, and so you'll learn, you know, when to take a step back. We're all, most importantly, going to be dads first. But if this is what they really, really want, and you sit down and you tell them this is what you really, really want, there's going to be some stuff out of my mouth that you're not going to like. That's fine.
Yeah. And the hardest part,
at dinner time.
The hardest part for me to realize that my son wasn't going to be me. Like, he's not going to be me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm the type, just lock us in the room. I guarantee I'm the one coming out. My son is not. He's not gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? And once I think I understood that as a father, I think it helped me a lot. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna be me. So,
but you did. He's not gonna be you, but he has you in him. So if he's pushed enough, or something's gonna trigger, it maybe a certain age, and maybe when he's 16, he like, man, I ain't going no more. This how we like. It's in him. At some point, that in him's gonna come out, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, you got that Haslam blood. That's what
he got a little dog in him. He got a little dog. But I just want to ask y'all that because we all dealing with that on different levels.
I'm gonna be tuned into young JJ though. That guy.
Oh yeah, he can go. Oh, he can go. He can go, man. He can go, man. He can go.
Well, hey, Jamal, we appreciate you coming on, brother. Honestly,
appreciate y'all, man. I've been waiting for this one.
One of my favorites to watch play against, side out. Every time you got an ISO, I'm fouled. I might foul you next time I see you.
Hell yeah, no.
Yeah, I knew. Hey, I knew when you went to the weight room, two of them fouls was different. I'm like,
hey, side out. Hey, you gonna take that out of bounds, bro? You ain't for that. You ain't for to rock me to sleep over here.
No, that, like I said, man. And we talked about this when I saw you. One of my favorite games to be a part of had nothing to do with me personally. Just watching you and D Wade go back at each other like that. That was a joy to watch, bro. That was a joy to watch.
Came out of fear, bro. Y'all had just won a championship, and D Wade was taking hearts at the time. I'm like, man, I just gotta try to get hot.
That was fun to watch, bro. That was fun to watch because Isaiah wasn't even calling the play. Isaiah was like, "Go." You know what I'm saying?
Call no play.
Yeah. And D Wade was coming back. That was a joy to watch, bro. And also, I love what you're doing on the next level, dog. And not just in the business, bro. And not just in business, but staying active with the hoops. What you're doing with the next generation, dog. Sure. We need more like you, bro. I appreciate you. OG
more
advice
like
for
us,
the day,
bro. I appreciate it.
More like
appreciate
us.
You, brother, man.
OG advice for the day.
What is OG advice for the day?
Like he said, listen, like Jamal said, find the gym. Don't let the gym find you.
That part.
Find the gym. Don't let the gym find you. Because if the gym got to find you, then the NBA probably not gonna find you either.
It probably wasting time.
That's just simple mathematics.
Appreciate you, Jamal.
Appreciate y'all, bro.
OG's out. You, dog. Yep.